Already.
Are you done?
Hello and welcome to episode 3
Of?
I just thought people know us by now, all them 5
Yeah.
views that we've
Oh,
had
yeah.
on the last
100%.
of Once Upon a Bookshelf.
We're doing so good so far, so...
We will become professional at this at some point. No,
Probably not.
This is the way we like it. Though,
This
so.
is the way we like it. So grab your cuppers, because we've got ours.
Double stacked.
Aye, we've got our cup of tea and our wine at the ready.
Yeah, why not? Wine not.
I'm so sorry about her.
Oh God, it's burning my finger.
Yeah, it's a bit too hot at the moment.
Oof.
Whew, I went in a bit early. On this episode, we will talk all things...
Oh. Fourth Wing
Hey!
by Rebecca Yarros.
So, my gosh. We all know that Onyx Storm has just come out, but today we are only talking about the first book. So, if you haven't read the first book, there are going to be loads and loads and loads and loads of spoilers. So, come back to this later.
Yeah, come back to us when you've read it. Or
Yeah.
if you're not going to read it, just watch it.
Yeah, and just decide if you want to read it or not, but
Yeah, you'll know what's happening.
you'll know exactly what's going on. Nothing will be a surprise to you.
No.
Probably won't be very good.
No.
But we are celebrating today, hence the wine. Sarah's last day at work. Well,
Yeah,
this
not-
job.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, unfortunately, you have to go to work elsewhere.
I
But
do still have to work, which is fine. But yeah, finished at my old place of work, I guess.
yeah,
today. Yeah.
gosh.
After 11 and a half years. Bit crazy.
So we're celebrating by talking about your favourite book.
My number one book boyfriend.
Yes,
Yes,
is Zaddy,
it is. Yeah, absolutely.
the shadow daddy himself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's number one.
he is your number
He's
one.
my number one.
Yeah.
And we're, clearly matched. Matchmaking heaven.
Yeah, you are. So we took, we say we took a quiz. I was very bored. So I did a quiz on ChatGPT. 20 questions just about like you and what you want in a partner, blah, blah, blah. And I asked it to basically, after you've answered these questions, come up with your top book boyfriend that would be compatible with you.
Yeah.
And I put all of our favourite book boyfriends
Yeah.
and a few others
Yeah.
in this
Not so
list.
favourites.
Some not so favourites.
Yeah.
In this list to see who we were both most compatible with. And it gave you your top 3 answers and it actually came out pretty well for both of us.
Yeah. Who did I got? Zayden, Rhysand, and Dorian.
Yeah, I was so jealous.
Jess.
I don't know what's going on.
Sorry, every so often there's like, it must be something I'm doing because it's on me. Like, it's just like this thumbs down emoji. I'm like, what for done?
You're just being rubbish.
Oh, I'm
You're
sad.
getting booed.
But anyway, yeah, I got 3
Yeah.
top tier book boyfriends.
You did. You really did. I got 2 top tier. And some people would think 3, to be fair.
Yeah. So who did you get again?
My number 1 was Azrael from
Yeah.
Akatar, which he is... Yes.
Yeah.
Happy with that. Number 2 was Rowan.
Yeah.
Which I sort of see why, but at the same time, unfortunately for you Rowan girlies out there, I didn't connect with Rowan in the way you lot did.
No, and I think because we liked, say, like Dorian
Yeah.
a lot more.
Yeah, and like
We
Sam.
were more drawn to him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Dorian.
Yeah.
Oh, and then my 3rd was Darius Acrux
Oh, I'm so jealous.
from the Zodiac Academy, so I was
Nah.
so happy with that as well.
But our mum got Lance in her top
She did,
3.
but she got Rowan. Our mum's a Rowan girly.
Yeah, she got Rowan.
She loves Rowan. Rowan was her number 1. Her 2nd was Cassian,
Oh, yeah,
from
which
Akatar.
she likes Cassian.
which she likes Cassian. And then, yeah, her 3rd was Lance Orion. Yeah. And she doesn't even know who he is. She said, she was like, oh, I think I'm really happy with the first two. Don't know who the third one is. And we were just like,
you wait. If you ever get into that world.
Yeah, the Zodiac Academy world is definitely one to read. So speaking of, how are we getting on with your reading at the moment? What have you been doing?
So this month, what are we on, the 10th of April? I read Dark Fae.
Yes, so the
first in the Ruthless Boys series in Solarian World.
Fantastic.
Which I really enjoyed. And big release week this week.
It is big release week.
Fearless by Lauren Roberts. So I'm currently reading that.
Yeah.
About 30% of the way through, I'd say.
Yeah.
Enjoying it so far.
We are part of the
really
reading
good.
society that can't sit. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to sit and just read it in the release date.
No,
so we haven't finished.
I love to be able to do that because I am eating this book up.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes. But it's also, you have to be so wary of TikTok.
Oh, I know. I haven't been on it as much today because I don't want to go on and get spoilers and things.
We did the same for Onyx Storm, didn't we? We were like, not going on TikTok. Only maybe 5-minute run through just to be like, oh, but no, nothing. I'm pretty much the same. What have I finished the Caraval series, which I absolutely loved. What did I read? I reread Reckless, which on the second read I absolutely loved, and I'm glad I did it. Because I caught things that I didn't the first time round, which has actually led on to the third book.
Nice.
So
I remember us
told
discussing
you
it on
about
Sunday.
it, and I was right, and I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So I am the same as you. I'm currently reading Fearless, and I'm not quite halfway yet. Yeah. But I'm absolutely devouring it and loving it. It's so good.
It's just so. It's comforting, I find, going back to a world we'll get on eventually when we go back to Onyx Storm and things like that. It's just so nice to go back into that world and with familiar characters as well. There's I love reading a new book and a new world and getting excited by characters, but there is something nice about going, oh yeah, I know these characters, I know the backstory. It's really easy to just fall into reading about them again.
100%. And you know what, I really, if I'd had time to, I would have read Powerless again as well, because Powerless was so good. And I think because it was a long time ago I read Powerless, because when Reckless came out I didn't do a reread, so I read Reckless, and that came out nearly a year ago.
Wow.
I think it came out in June, July last year. So I was so glad I did. Although, I wish I had given myself more time to read Powerless.
I read them not long ago. I read them January, didn't I? So I sort of still remembered. But yeah. If you had chance to reread, we would, wouldn't we? But we don't.
Unfortunately, when you've got kids and jobs and
a massive TBR.
You just don't find the opportunity, especially when you're already in something. So you're having to pull yourself out of the world of Solaria to read Fearless, and I was quite lucky that I'd finished Caraval.
Yes.
But I haven't read Once Upon a Broken Heart. So if anybody's read both of them, I haven't read that yet. So I'll have to go back and read that, which is sort of I think follows the same one of the same characters at least. So
exciting.
But
that leads us nicely on to our topic for this evening.
So before we get into it, just the first book,
because if we talked about all three of them, we'd be here till the early hours of the morning, I think.
100%. What did you rate the first book out of 10?
9 probably.
Yeah, so good.
So good. I mean 9, 9.5, 10.
Yeah.
Probably.
Fantastic writing, fantastic world building, fantastic world.
Yeah.
Fantastic characters.
Yeah. brilliant.
I can't fault
I
much
can't
about this
fault
book.
Fourth Wing.
No.
I loved it.
It really, it's one of those books, isn't it? You start and you just can't put down.
Yeah.
You have to know.
Yeah.
You have to keep reading. You have to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you pick it up, it just drags you back in.
It's amazing. It's hard to think that it's like a 5-book series.
Yeah.
And we've only got 3 of them. Like, still got 2 more to come.
Yeah, and they could, well, the next one could possibly be 2027.
Yeah.
And the one after that.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Oh.
But we're getting a TV show. And we have seen, so we want to know your guys' opinions as well. So we have seen loads of fan casts.
Yes.
For our Shadow Daddy himself.
Oh, them poor boys.
It is so, it is
funny.
now my favourite pastime for whenever, like, Josh Houston?
Yeah.
And Emilio.
Yeah. Sakurai or something.
Yeah, whenever they post, I don't even look at the post, I straight away go to the comments
and see what people have put.
and it is
so
all
funny.
about Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I feel like they take it in their stride, don't they? Bless them. They have to.
Yeah.
They've not got much of a choice, really.
Yeah. I mean, they've both read the books now. I bet they both thought, I really need to know what
I
these
need to
people are on
understand
about.
what people are, trying to cast me in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. But, go on, who would you cast?
What as Zayden?
Yeah.
Emilio.
Yeah.
100%. I just think
Definitely.
he's got that shadowy look about him.
He is a big
He's big,
guy.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like as close to a Zayden as I can see.
Yeah.
I love Josh Houston. I see him more as a Bodhi.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously the books describe Bodhi and Zayden as similar in appearance, but obviously Bodhi's a bit smaller than
Like softer.
and softer than Zayden. And I think Josh Houston's like, he would be perfect.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think he'd make a good Bodhi.
And he's so cute.
Yeah.
I love how he's also teasing us. So
I
whenever
love it.
anyone
Yes.
asks him about it, like when he said in that interview, he was like, "Oh, chocolate cake," and ask the scribes.
I think he's brilliant. I
He's
do think
fantastic.
he's really good.
He's doing so well with it.
Yeah. And I think if he was Zayden, I think he'd do a good job in the role.
100%.
I just think currently when you see them as they are now, visually,
Yeah.
he's not what you see or I see as Zayden.
Yeah.
Other people maybe think, oh my god, 100% he's what I viewed him as and he'd be perfect.
Definitely.
But, I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah. What about anyone else? Have you got any fan casts for anyone else? Or
No, not really. I have seen a few here and there, and I'll be honest, some seem a bit like far-fetched.
yeah, I saw. Is it Mackenzie Foy for Violet?
Yeah.
And I thought that looks.
Yeah, she's got a look about her.
Like
definitely.
she's small,
Yeah.
and I feel like she gives the right sort of vibe, doesn't
Yeah.
she? But I did see an interview with, and you're gonna have to correct me, Zac Efron's brother,
Yeah.
and he said he would love to be cast in Fourth Wing. So people have said he would love to be cast as anyone but Dane.
I just think he looks like a Dane, though.
Or a Brennan.
Or a Brennan.
Because he's a bit older as well.
Yeah.
You've got to think they're
young.
They're supposed. I know.
Yeah.
I never picture them as young as they are.
The problem is, though, when you're reading these things and they're like, oh yeah, Violet's, what was she, 20 in Fourth Wing?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, she's my age. She's a grown ass woman doing, like, you have to be a grown ass woman to do these things. Yeah. In my head it's hard to imagine her as 20, but she clearly is because she's at school.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can't imagine like Garrick and Zayden as 23-year-olds, because that's what they are in Onyx. I mean 22-year-olds in Fourth Wing, but 23-year-olds in Onyx Storm. And I'm like, no. You're grown, you're like in your 30s. You're like
grown ass
big
man.
guys.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine a 23-year-old being like this. I
But
mean,
you think about all the things they go through, and like
they're hardened.
Zayden in Fourth Wing, and he's leading a rebellion again, effectively.
Yeah.
They don't call it a rebellion, do they?
They call it a revolution.
A revolution, sorry. And you think, how can a 22-year-old have all this weight on their shoulders?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
No. Right, without going into too many spoilers
Sorry.
of Fourth Wing, but we are excited to obviously find out more news about the TV show.
Yeah.
Whatever we can. Rebecca!
Yeah, so she's seen some of the scripts, hasn't she? Also, she's seen like two versions of the first episode or something.
Yes.
That is so exciting.
I love that. And I love how she's involved. I know she's trying to step back, but I love how she's involved in it. And also, I just love her as a person.
I think she's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
She just seems
And,
so
like,
down to earth.
When you see the interviews she does, like, around the release of Onyx Storm and stuff, you can see that she loves what she's written and she loves the characters that she's written, and I think that makes it so much easier to read.
And I saw an interview with her and she was saying how she has, like, literally a folder on each of her characters.
Oh, amazing.
So she knows exactly who they are, their personalities, and she keeps it all in a folder to, like, obviously to refer to, but that... She's like, they are people in her head, like they're not just like words on paper, they are people, so every one of them has like,
and I think that's what makes the writing so good and them feel like real people to us, because she sees them as real people.
but they all do have their distinctive characters as well. Like, obviously some of them you don't see as much as others, but when you do, you know that's so that is so Imogen, and that is, do you know what I mean? You can tell.
Love it.
So let's dive right in.
Let's do it. We've waffled for too long.
We have. So the start of the book, you meet Violet for the first time.
Yes.
And she is this young, seen to be very weak, born weak. Because she's like physically ill. She was born ill.
Yes. We don't know why, do we?
She's got, I can't remember what it's called. Rebecca has gone into it. It's basically where...
Did she go into it in Fourth Wing?
No, I don't think so. It's where like your joints and stuff like are quite weak and your bones are brittle and it's not. It's very much a physical thing.
Do we?
No, we don't know why. But she was born like that, so she was seen as weak, and she's been trained her whole life to go into the scribe quadrant.
Yes.
But her mother, who is the general at Basgiath War College, wants her to go into the Riders Quadrant, which is obviously out of the 4 quadrants at Basgiath. So you've got the healers, the scribes, the infantry, and the riders. The riders is the most dangerous quadrant because you most likely as a first year die, basically.
Well, yeah, you've got a high percentage chance of dying throughout the whole thing, haven't you, I guess?
Yeah. 100, well, as anybody, to be fair. So you meet Violet, and the first challenge that she comes across is the parapet.
Yeah. Well, it's carrying that flipping bag up the stairs to her mum's office as well.
Yeah.
She struggled with that, didn't she?
Yeah, well, I would have too, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair, she did try and stuff a lot in there.
Yeah, all of her books and things, and Mira, her sister, was like, nope, absolutely not.
Yeah, you can't take them. What are you doing, fool?
But she sort of saved her life in the end, because she gave her those boots, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, Mira.
The armour
gave her a lot of help.
that she gave her really saved her life on many occasions throughout the book. And then, do you know what I forgot until I listened to the audiobook? Because unfortunately, guys, I don't have time to reread the book. So when I'm in the car, I listen to the audiobook.
Yeah.
When she was first going up the stairs and she meets Rhiannon.
Yeah.
For the first time, there's also a guy behind her.
Oh, yeah, Jack.
No. Oh, no, he's in front of her.
Oh, the one that dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think, oh my gosh, these guys are going to be best friends, and he dies like straight away.
You know what makes... I reread them before Onyx Storm came out. And you know what makes me think, oh, I wonder if that's a sign he's not going to survive. And this is me just delving like well into like reading between the lines here. She never gave him a last name.
No, she
so
didn't.
she was like, so Rihanna was like, oh, I'm Rhiannon Matthias or whatever.
Yeah.
I
cannot remember
his name.
I can
Josh
try
got
find
the book
it.
next here. He never got a last name.
He didn't. Find Dane Atos.
Awful that we don't know.
Dylan.
Yeah, he doesn't have a last name.
No. And do you know what else? It's a bit of a sob story, isn't it? He has the engagement
The
ring.
ring he was going to give to his love.
So let's be honest then. So they were up against quite a bit on this parapet because it was during a storm. Do you think you could cross the parapet and live?
Oh, I'd love to think I could. In reality, if there was a storm going on and a massive gale, probably not.
I'd love to think that I could, but I think it's the fear of seeing the drop. Because it was actually quite wide.
It was fairly wide.
I thought when I first read it, it'd be like that.
Yeah.
But in fact, it's like 1.5 foot.
Yeah, it's... Well, I mean, yeah.
About that?
I don't know. Depends. Depends who's been telling you measurements. I do think it's like, it's wide enough to walk across.
But it is crumbling, I guess.
Yeah.
As well, which doesn't help.
It's really, really high up, so if you're petrified of heights, that's just like...
I think anybody at that stage, you'd have to be...
Zadyn
Ryerson to be okay with walking across that.
He loves it.
But that is the first time you see Zadyn as well. That's the first...
At the top of the staircase.
And she's warned by her sister, isn't she?
To stay away.
To stay away. Because his father led the rebellion. That Violet's mother, fought against.
Yeah.
And she ended up killing him in the end.
Yeah.
So, to stay away from Zadyn Ryerson, and she walks up those steps and she goes, that is the most beautiful man I've ever seen.
Oh.
And guess who it is?
Zadyn.
Our little Zadyn.
That's that enemies to lovers.
That is. Yeah, well, it's like forbidden,
They're like
isn't it? You're not
forbidden
supposed to be
love.
together.
Yeah, you aren't allowed to be together. You are forced enemies.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they were ever like...
There was nothing like that made them hate
each other as
each
people.
other's personalities, I guess.
No.
It was a forced hatred.
Yeah.
Because of what happened to families.
Yeah. But of course she crosses the parapet and we meet Jack Barlow.
Oh, Jack. Mother fluffing Barlow.
Yeah. He's
just a knob. Let's just put it out there.
He's not even one of those characters you love to hate. You just hate him.
Because he's just stuck up.
Yeah.
He just thinks he's the best at everything and clearly isn't.
No.
And yeah.
I remember reading it for the first time and thinking, oh yeah, they all just cross the parapet. That's fine. Like, if you fall, it's your own fault. And then he chucked that cadet, didn't he?
He threw him off.
And I thought, well, that's not really fair.
And then he's like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
To Violet.
Well, she had him by the balls at the end of that, didn't she?
Good on her. I liked that. And that made me like Violet even more after not long of the book, because she stood up for herself. Even though she was somewhere where she didn't want to be, she's just done like the scariest thing of her life so far.
Yeah. And she is seen as this weak and frail person, but she's managed to get this guy.
Yeah. And her knowledge is a huge weapon for her.
Absolutely. That is like
the way she recites the codex and things like that. She knows it better than anybody.
And she can use that against everyone in there, which is fantastic. Yeah. So she gets over, and we know who's waiting for her at the other side. Dane Atos. Atos.
Oh, we like Dane at this point.
We do. And you can understand why he's so flustered.
He's a bit annoying, let's be honest. He's a bit annoying. I get what you come in at. Can understand why he's flustered. He wasn't expecting to see her. She was supposed to be a scribe, and then he was going to start writing to her because he's in his second year. But it's like, it's the annoyance and the persistence of him that's like, you shouldn't be here, Vi, you should be over there. And it's like, just let her be.
I agree to a certain extent. This is me again. I'm all like, I'm terrible. I always like look at different people's points of view. From a Dane point of view, like, he, out of everyone in that college, knows Violet best.
Yeah.
And he's grown up with her.
Yeah.
So he's seen how frail she is.
Yeah.
And I guess from his point of view, all he's trying to do
is
save her.
Yeah.
And I do agree, towards the end, especially when she's, you know, proven him wrong time and time again.
Yes.
You'd think he'd start to go, right, if you want to stay here, you know, that's your decision. But he's very persistent at some points where you're just like, you need to stop now. Like, she ends up falling out with him.
Yeah.
And saying, why don't, like, you need to believe in me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here, this is my decision, I want to stay here now.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
he needs, can see it's coming from a good place, but he also needs to, like, get a grip.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever any, like, it wasn't malicious, it wasn't, I don't think you can do it, it's that, like, I'm scared for you.
Yeah.
And you are weak, and as horrible as it sounds, he was probably just thinking, I just want to get her out. More for a selfish reason for him, so he can stop worrying as well. It might have been keeping him up at night.
And clearly, we find out later on, because he kisses her, doesn't he, at some point in the book. He has feelings for her, and I guess he's like, well, I can't have feelings for you if you're dead.
And she says from the start, literally right at the start, that she's had feelings for him.
Yeah.
It's all a bit complicated.
I'm conflicted because I know what happens in the next books, and I know what happens in this book later on down the line. And Dane is a very much a love-hate relationship character.
Yeah.
At moments, like, you do love him.
Yeah.
And at moments you could tear his head off.
When I finish this book, and we'll get into this a little bit later, because we will try to stay with the timeline.
Just go with the flow, guys.
At the end of this book, I think Dane, I've never hated a character more in my life.
Yeah, no.
Genuinely, at the end of this book, I could have killed him.
Yeah.
I was so angry at him.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a little bit. So she's crossed the parapet, she's met Dane, she's met Rhiannon, and she gets put into... Second wing. Yeah. That's where she originally gets... And she's put into Dane's squad because he asks for her and Rhiannon.
Yeah.
And it's Xaden Ryerson who swaps that second squad with his fourth squad. So she gets put into fourth wing. And when that happens, she thinks, he's doing that because he wants me dead.
Yeah.
He wants me close. Yeah. He wants to kill me.
Yeah. When he's her wing leader, he can do anything.
Yeah. 100%. Oh, yeah, and then you do find out he's the wing leader.
Yeah, he's the wing leader. No, you find out he's the wing leader before
he's in charge. He's a man in power.
This is where it gets interesting.
Is when all the dragons come and he does his speech and you just think,
oh, and they're all sat there.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you know, are you scared? Like, I bet you feel powerful, guys. You're in the Riders Quadrant. You're in the Riders Quadrant. And they all go, yeah. And he goes, you're not powerful. Get down.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
He
Zaddy.
knows how to make a rousing speech.
He knows how to do his thing.
Dane doesn't do as good a job in next year, does
he? Bless him.
We still hate him then, so it's alright. We do.
No, that...
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Which speech you want? Oh, that... Yeah, this time next year.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Sorry, I thought you meant his other speech.
No,
no. But yeah, and that's the first time you see the dragons as well.
The dragons. But Violet, obviously, she's like, whoa, they're big. And, like, obviously she sees the Gale, the big blue one.
Yes.
But she's used to being around dragons.
Yeah.
With her mum having a dragon and them being stationed all over the place and things like that.
Her mum, her Deceased brother Brennan.
Deceased brother Brennan. Mira.
The only one in her family that wasn't a rider was her father.
Yeah.
Who was a scribe.
Yeah.
And we don't know much about him yet.
No, we don't. I still feel like we don't know a lot about him.
We don't. He's a mystery man.
A complete mystery.
We need to find out more. Yeah. I hope that comes in the next book. Because...
Yeah.
So then you also meet the squad.
The squad.
Iron Squad.
Yeah, they become Iron Squad, don't they? They do very well at surviving.
They do.
Well, most of them. I mean, there are a few fatalities along the way.
Of course.
No, it's not a laughing matter, but it's alright.
Oh, she did.
Oh dear. It just comes with the territory.
Yes. Well, you have the main ones, don't you? So you have Violet, obviously.
Yeah,
Rhiannon. Sawyer. So Sawyer
redid.
Yeah, is redoing his first year because he got through all of it. Bless him. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
And didn't bond his first year. Could you imagine? Could you imagine going through all of that and not?
No, it's devastating to survive everything.
Yeah.
And then not bond a dragon.
And then he's got to do it all again, knowing he can do it. Yeah. It must be so frustrating. There was one line in the book, in this one, where she was in... Woohoo!
Sorry, it's getting twilighty, so I thought I'd put a light on. There we go. You can see us now.
There was one line in this book which I did... I felt very sorry for him when they were in the classroom and everyone was taking notes except him.
Yeah, because he's done it. He's done the class. He knows what's coming. I know, it's just like,
so frustrating.
Gets at you, doesn't
and
it?
He is
so lovely.
Sweet.
And yeah, we like Sawyer.
We love Sawyer. And we have Riddick.
Riddick.
So the first time you read about Riddick... He's just an idiot.
But don't you think it sounds like, to start with, they're like, oh God, what is this moron?
Yeah, literally. When you listen, because I remember reading it through, and I remember saying to you, what do you think about Riddick? You're like, oh yeah, he's a bit of a moron.
But I feel like Violet and Rhiannon think that about him to start with as well.
Yeah.
Like, what is he playing at? Like why is he joking?
Mouthing off when things are happening, and you just think, what is this boy doing?
Yeah. But
Riddick.
We grow to love Riddick, and he's brilliant, and he's like top tier character for me.
100%. He's up there on the list. We love Riddick.
Yeah.
Luca. So she was horrible.
Yeah, she was awful.
She was very much like up her own self, wasn't she?
She was very much like Violet is gonna be the death of us.
Yeah. And so was Tynan.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, we hate Tynan too. But he was exactly the same. So Tynan ends up being friends with Jack Barlow, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And we hate them. But he was the same as Luca.
Yeah.
And he wanted Violet gone.
Yeah.
Basically.
Orally.
That was sad.
Oh, she was like lovely and so good. She was so good at everything. I think that's what shocked you that and then comes to the gauntlet, bless her.
Yeah.
And she's deceased.
But what was sad about that is she was actually trying to help as well. Like, she was giving them advice on how to tackle it. And it was the first time they attempted it as well.
Yeah.
And she was doing really well. And it wasn't until a dragon flew overhead.
Yeah, and just like for a brief second.
Yeah, and that was it. Sorry, Orly. R.I.P. Prior.
Oh God. I mean, I'll be quite honest with you. I'm amazed he got as far as he did. And he got to the end of like the presentation.
He did.
And turned round and was like coming back before the dragons decided to.
It's because he could not make a decision for his life, and who wants to be bonded to that? I certainly don't.
No.
And then Trina, who was just really quiet. You never heard anything from her.
Wasn't she? She fell off a dragon, didn't she?
So she bonded.
Threshing,
yeah. She bonded and fell.
Yeah.
So she didn't make it. And Luca didn't make it either. She got burnt.
She did.
She was mouthing off. But that was scary because we thought it was Riddick.
Yes.
didn't we?
Yeah, because
they were both mouthing off at each other.
Yeah.
But Riddick was standing up for Violet, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, Luca.
Yeah.
Luca got what was coming to her.
Yeah, she did.
But yeah, tight squad.
Good squad.
Good squad. We like it.
Mostly.
Well, that's the first years anyway.
Yeah.
You obviously have Imogen.
Yeah.
And Quinn.
Yeah. We can't go into that right now.
And the first time you meet Imogen...
She's a bitch. They're on the mat, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, the first time you get a glimpse at Imogen is when... It's when she fights Violet in the first...
Is that the first time?
Yeah.
Is it?
And she dislocates her arm or something. And then Violet's climbing the tree when she's meant to have her arm in the sling, isn't she?
So, it's because she's a marked one.
Yeah.
And all the marked ones hate Violet, or supposedly hate Violet, because, again, all the marked ones were marked because their parents were part of the rebellion, and it was very much like you've been marked as a traitor, even though it wasn't them who were involved in the rebellion. It was just, these are the traitors' kids.
Yeah.
And it was Violet's mum, Lilith, who gave the orders to have everybody executed, basically. So all of them hate Violet.
Yeah.
So yeah, Imogen hates Violet and is very happy to show it as well.
Yeah, and in some respects it's like, yeah, I get it. And then in some respects it's like,
yeah,
sorry, I'm just
ching,
swapping drinks. Swapping drinks now. In some ways I get it. It's like, yeah, I understand you need an outlet for your anger of what's happened to your family, but it's also like, but Violet personally didn't do that to you.
Yeah, and they're very... You see later on the ones that aren't holding a grudge against Violet, which Garrick is actually the first one to stand up for her under that tree.
Yeah.
Which is why we love Garrick.
The love just grows.
He's the one to say that it was the Navarian way to blame the kids for the parents' mistakes, not the Tirish.
Yeah.
So he stood up for Violet before anyone else.
Yeah.
I love him.
Love him.
I love him for that.
I'll be honest. Yeah, Imogen does come across like an absolute bitch the first time you meet her.
Love Imogen.
And you're like, I don't think we're going to like this person.
No. But you do.
But you do. And even in the first book, when it gets to later on and she's training Violet and things like that, yes, she's still standoffish with Violet, but she's great with her. And she's what Violet needs.
I think after threshing, she realises Violet isn't a bad person.
But her and Quinn also say after threshing that we don't make friends with people before threshing because we don't know who's going to survive or not. So that makes sense too.
And we love Quinn.
We love Quinn.
That's it. We just love Quinn.
Yeah.
And obviously there's the third years, which you've got Garrick and Zayden. And you've got many others that we just...
They're not worth noting, to be honest.
You've got Emery and them lot, which, again, smaller characters, but they are of note in some sort of way.
Yeah.
But yeah, all together, fourth wing, tight wing, and we love that.
Yeah.
So, Violet is this small, weak girl, and she's now having to do challenges.
Yeah. Yes, and that's when her first challenge comes, and she's against Imogen.
Yes.
And Imogen breaks her bad.
Yes.
Well, not bad, but her arm and stuff.
And Dane has to carry her
because it's during this where Jack Barlow snaps that poor kid's neck, doesn't he?
Yeah. So this is when you notice Jack Barlow's even more of a knob than we thought he was.
Yeah. So she's worried about meeting Jack then on the mat, obviously. Because she obviously Violet doesn't want her neck snapping.
And he's literally put a target on her back. He has said, I'm coming for you next, Sorringale.
Yeah. Imogen breaks her.
Yeah.
Dane takes her to get fixed.
Which then raises questions. Because I think rumours go about because people who sleep with leadership.
Yeah, so someone in their squad
Luca.
Is it Trina as well? Oh, Luca, yeah. And she's like, oh, you and Dane or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, actually, I've known Dane since I was tiny.
Yeah.
And that sort of like makes them step back a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, didn't know that. Soz.
100%. Yeah, because that was on the way to the gauntlet, wasn't it?
Stupid.
Which you can kind of understand, but what I don't get about it. So obviously, sleeping with leadership is frowned upon. Fine.
But it's not disallowed.
It's not disallowed. It's not against the rules. Again, fine. Why? What would they actually benefit from it? Because at the end of the day, it's the professors and the dragons who make the decisions.
Yeah.
So even if Violet slept with Dane, how's Dane gonna favour her in any way?
And no offense, Dane or anything, he's only a squad leader at this point.
Yeah, we can't really do a whole lot.
Zadyn as a wing leader has a lot more responsibility than Dane as a squad leader.
I guess they can always like make it easier for them in like some respects.
So I'm pushing on a bit, but it's like related.
Yeah.
So Zadyn as the wing leader, when it came to what happened to Violet in a bedroom after threshing.
Yes.
Amber.
Yeah. Yes.
He got that done,
did.
didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Got Amber deeded.
He did indeed. We love him for
it. Well, but Ten did the deed.
Ten did do the deed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it was hot.
It was very hot. Right, so
going back to a crisp.
She wasn't walking away from that altercation. But she decides for her challenges she's going to start poisoning people, basically.
Yeah,
that's the only way she can get through it.
Which is stupid, really.
And then when she's out picking her flowers, that's when she overhears the conversation. With the marked ones under the trees.
Yeah, 'cause she's in a tree in the shadows.
Yeah, and actually becomes sort of like sympathetic towards them.
Yeah, I mean, they don't give anything away. It's just them saying, do any of the first years need help?
Yeah.
Adjusting.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, well, actually, they're just trying to help each other out like any normal people would do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But then that's the first time that her and Zadyn actually have a bit of a conversation.
Because, obviously, he's Shadow Man.
He's Shadow Daddy.
So he knows that she's lurking.
Yeah. And he
trusts her ish. He was like, you need to keep this secret from me, and
she said she would,
if you will.
Yeah.
And she does.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the gauntlet now. Thank you.
I'd die.
I would not survive something like that. I mean, I go to the gym and stuff, but absolutely not.
I'd die 100%.
I've got no hand-eye coordination or anything, so I genuinely no.
Well, we're deciding we're gonna have to have a trip to like Ninja Warrior or something, because
we need to give this a go, to be fair, or as close as possible to a go.
Yes, because we need to actually figure out I don't think I'd be able to do it.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I think we'd make complete fools of ourselves.
I'd definitely die on the first try as well. I would panic and not be able to grab the rope in time. And just fall.
And just go.
And I think the things that would get me the most is like the spinning log. And there's no way I'm getting up that wall.
No, I'd be like Violet though.
Too small.
Well, you're smaller than me even. But yeah, just not tall enough, or don't have long enough limbs to reach and grab and things.
And I haven't got the upper body strength to pull myself over that. I can't do a pull up. Never mind pull myself up a wall.
No, I can't either.
So unfortunately that's where mine and Sarah's story ends. Yeah. We would not be going to presentation day. No. But that's how you get to presentation day.
That is how you get to presentation. You have to go up the it's funny though, isn't it? The comments like, well, why can't we use the steps that go up the side of it? It's like, well, that's for people that have passed the gauntlet. Bloody
hell. Honestly, I'd be dead, 100%. I don't know how anybody could physically do that.
No, absolutely no. It just blows your mind even thinking about it. Like, I've seen some like AI animations of what people think the gauntlet look like, and like my brain still doesn't process that. I just can't imagine something like that.
No. But they do say that. They do think it is the worst of all the tasks to do.
But you understand why they do it, because every part of it is part of like the strength that you need to ride a dragon. So like when she can't get up that curve, that is like on Ninja Warrior when you see the episodes in
that's what I mean.
the wall or whatever they call it.
No way.
That's running up the dragon's leg to get onto them and things like that.
Yes.
Which we know Violet can't do.
Yes.
Turn's quite accommodating.
He is quite good. And at that point as well, Xaden is now helping her on the map. Or starting to.
Is he?
Yeah. He's done. He challenged her, wasn't it? And the challenges stopped when they did the gauntlet. Or is it between the gauntlet and threshing? But I don't think it is.
No, so he challenged her.
Yeah.
Because
she'd poisoned somebody
you
too
can't
much.
keep poisoning people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she'd poisoned somebody too much to the point where they were already taken away
Yeah.
sick. And she thought, oh, maybe I'm getting away with not having a challenge.
Yeah.
And Xaden was like...
So he challenged her. And then
that was the sexiest scene.
Oh, when he was like pulling like...
Ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
And then there's Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Because then there's the whole...
altercation at the top with Amber.
Oh, because Violet used a knife.
Yeah. And that's when her scribe instincts come back into play.
Yeah. And she was like, I carried this knife over the...
Yeah.
The
parapet.
like that. You know, as they do. So it is now a part of me and my person.
Yeah. And Xaden said, yeah.
Yeah, I did. But Garrick.
We love Garrick.
Garrick was there as well. I was like, yeah.
He's like, shut up, Amber.
Yeah. She's in my
section. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
Honestly, Garrick is such a hero.
He is a hero.
We love him.
I love Garrick.
And then it's presentation, where they lose 2 squad members.
They do.
They lose Luca and Pryor.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. And they see a Feathertail.
Oh, the cute little golden.
But the problem is with that, when it comes to threshing, she's got a target on her back now. Because Jack Barlow, knobhead, gets his stupid friends, Tynan and Knobhead.
Yeah. Knobhead 1, Knobhead 2.
Knobhead. To go hunt her. Like, kid you not, right? If you're in threshing, you feel sick to your stomach, you go in to try and bond a dragon. If you bond a dragon, you might die. The last thing you're going to do during that time where you are meant to be finding your dragon is to go and hunt.
Yeah, what? I mean, stupid.
Honestly.
Yeah, they are idiots.
But it worked in Violet's favour.
It did, and Violet met Andana and Ten.
Yeah.
And Ten bonded Violet because of the way she protected Andana.
Yeah.
And Sigale was a bit like...
And bye-bye Tynan.
Don't hurt my lovely.
Yeah. And Xaden nearly stepped in when that whole altercation was going on.
Yeah.
Again, another like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Why was he nearly stepping in?
Yeah.
So then she flies. Or... Ten has to...
falls with style, potentially.
Ten has to assist quite a bit with that one.
Yeah, he holds her on, doesn't he?
Yeah. But she's bonded 2 dragons, which has never happened before.
Yeah, but she doesn't know, does she? Until they land and she goes to give Ten's name.
Yeah.
And she's Ternanach.
Ternanach and Andarniurm.
Yeah. And then she like, and then
you can do this, Sarah.
Yeah. This is how they sound in my head. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
And then everyone has to fly off. No, the dragons have to fly off because people don't have any say.
Yeah. But this is when, as well, so her and Dane have a convo. And, no, before, her and Dane are having a conversation and Xaden steps in because...
Oh, because it's like...
Because he tells Violet that Ten is mated to Segale, and the reason why he thinks Xaden's planned the whole thing so he can get close to Violet and kill her and blah blah blah, and Xaden comes in being like, why would I do that?
It just means I can't kill her.
It means that if she dies, I die now. That's the last thing I wanted to happen. And then Dane accuses him of stepping in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he said, would you have done it? And Dane says no. And you just want to slap him in the face. So out of all of this time where he's been trying to save...
They at some point as well, don't they?
Yeah. But out of all the times that Dane was trying to save Violet, he's now turned around and gone, I wouldn't have stepped in because the codex.
Yeah, knob.
Honestly, that's when I started to go off him. I was like, what are you on about?
No, the rules are not more important than friends.
And it wasn't until the dragons came back and they discussed it and they allowed it that that's when Dane kisses her.
Yeah.
After saying that as well, I'm not being funny, right?
But good on Violet for going not to his face then or anything.
No,
but
she was just like...
That was not what I expected.
Not for me.
No.
I like the shadow daddy. I'm like so over you now.
Yeah, please. Give it a rest.
Oh, honestly. But what stupid timing for Dane. Out of all the times to pull a move, after you've just said I wouldn't step in to save your life.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to kiss you? No.
Yeah, no. I was about to say I would not have mated a dragon, but that definitely would not.
You may have found that quite difficult.
No.
Okay, Sarah. Whatever floats your boat.
It's not weird.
Save a dragon, ride the wing leader.
Yeah, no, this is that thing. If only. I would not have survived bonding a dragon.
No.
I don't know. I wouldn't have bonded a dragon.
I'd love to bond a dragon.
I would love to think that I would.
I'd probably bond like a little
Probably
green or red.
And Anna.
Oh yeah. What, while she's a feather tail?
Yeah, but not 10 with her.
Oh no, just Andana.
Just Andana.
Oh, cute
though. Oh my god, you're so cute.
Oh my god, I pet you and everything.
Can I take you home?
We like a little pony.
Oh, bless her.
She's so cute.
Oh, them Jellycat Andanas
Oh,
though.
don't.
I really want one, but they're just stupid amounts of money. And Matt would genuinely kill me if I brought one of them. I was like, he'd be like, why?
Like, it's just so cute.
Spent
though.
all that money on a soft toy. It's like, it's Andana.
Like, it's so worth it though.
Don't talk to me.
It's so worth it.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, so cute. We love 10.
We love 10.
Absolutely love 10.
He's just like vibes, isn't he?
He's just like a grumpy granddad, isn't he?
Yes.
But like one that you love to have around. Yeah. You'd take him out shopping and he'd just complain the whole time, sort of thing. He'd just
like our granddad.
Yeah.
I could just imagine our
I've seen a meme and it makes me laugh every time. So like obviously people have done like AI versions of what they think Ten would look like if he was a human, and he's these big guys, like really muscly, and then someone, but this is what I think, and it's like the old man from Up.
Carl. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, that is so true.
I totally see that though. That is who I see. An old man.
Yeah.
In a dragon.
Yes. Absolutely.
He's lovable though, he's great.
We do love 10.
So that's marvellous.
Yeah. So they're bonded. They're getting to know each other.
Xaden and Violet are now bonded.
Yes. So that's when loads of things start to happen, isn't it? So Liam
gets moved because Xaden thinks Violet needs more protection because she doesn't want him. No.
Yeah.
No,
it's after.
She gets her near-death experience when all the unbonded try to kill her because she's bonded the strongest dragon.
Yeah.
Xaden steps in and saves her, and Dana freezes time. We're smushing over this because there's a lot. And Dana freezes time to help her get out. Xaden goes kills them all by shadows.
Badass.
Right. Then they get
Sexy.
Amber Mavis.
Yeah, bye Amber. Oh, and Dane's a
flame.
knob again. Sorry, Dane. Point down for you.
Yeah, he is, because he's like, no, she would never do that. And it's like,
why doesn't he ever believe
And then
Violet?
he goes like that. Doesn't he? He goes,
slap.
And she's like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
You did not ask to see
because
my memory.
she doesn't want him seeing about Andana.
Yeah, which, good on her. So that makes her tell 10 to show everybody the vision or the dragons, and then the dragons show.
Yeah.
Anyway, that all happens, and Amber's like, gone.
Yes. I'm loving this. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. What next? And then
Liam gets moved.
Liam gets moved.
He's now the shadow.
Into
bodyguard.
And the friendship that comes of that.
Don't.
To start with, she's like, Liam, stop, leave me alone. I know you don't want to do this and this, that, and the other. And then Liam's like, oh no, I owe Zadie everything and this, that, and the other. But the bond they make is just lovely.
Liam is the most perfect person
in the world.
He's not only the best cadet there, he's the sweetest, kindest, funny,
most loyal.
Just the best. Honestly, I loved Liam the second he really came into the book.
Absolutely. He is just,
perfect. Which is the problem.
Which is Rebecca's problem. Anyway.
Rebecca, you need to stop, girl.
We like perfect people sometimes, most of the time. So yeah, all that happens, and then they get to squad games. So not war games.
No.
Squad games.
So the first one's where they steal the map.
They steal the map from her mum's office.
Yeah.
Which is all exciting. They
Love
work
that.
really well together.
Yep.
They win.
Woo!
And they go to... We're doing really well there. Come on, guys. Keep going. Let's keep this momentum going. They go to...
It's not Samara, is it? No.
Samara.
Whoa.
No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Oh, is it Montserrat?
Yes, Montserrat. That's where they go.
Montserrat.
So they go to Montserrat. No, because Xaden gets stationed in Samara.
Yes.
The next time in next book.
Yep.
Can't talk about that right now.
Not talking about
that. So they go there.
Yeah.
They have a bit of fun. They sneak out to see Rhiannon's family because they're not far away.
They do, yeah.
Meet Rhiannon's new nephew.
Love that.
Cute. With Mira. Mira's there.
Yes, Mira.
Violet and Mira get reunited. yeah. Moving on.
Oh my god.
And then they walk out the house.
No.
Listen, they walk out the house and guess who's arrived?
Xaden. Because he can't stay away.
No, because Sigale.
Yeah, but he can't stay away.
Wink, wink. Can't stay away.
Yeah, but he can't stay away. And it's the meeting the next day when they're all there. Dane's having a hissy fit because he's like, why are you here? And they're having...
My dragon.
Yeah. And then they're having to do, like, a battle strategy.
Oh, and they're talking about Xaden's shadows.
Yeah, and
he's like, you can't do that, surely.
And he goes...
and the whole room goes
black. Yeah. And that's when they first speak mind to mind.
Yeah, and she's like, whoa, what the
fuck
have you just done there?
Yeah.
And then...
So much goes on in this book.
Jess, we've missed like the most important bit before this though. The kiss. I've totally skipped over that.
How dare you? That is a beautiful moment.
Their first kiss in the snow.
Yeah. And it's because she was going to put it on Liam.
She was, but then she did the right thing because she was like, no, because I really want
because it was Ten and Sigale having some fun.
And she couldn't block him out straight away.
Yeah.
And then she went out, found Xaden. They were mwah. That
was the best scene though, and I don't know about you guys, love the trope where he was just like, fuck it.
Yes. I love that.
That's when you're at 2 o'clock in the moment, 2 o'clock in the morning, and he says fuck it, and you just think, oh my god,
what was it? It would be catastrophic or something like that.
She's like, just do it.
And she's like,
just
and he's
do
like,
it.
oh fuck it.
Yeah,
love that. And then he's like, no, that was a mistake.
Honestly, he is the sexiest person. I understand why he's your number one.
Things that come out of his mouth. Things that anyway. So we're back to Montserrat.
This is going so well for you, Sarah. You're doing really good.
That is the best scene in that. No, it's not.
No, it's definitely not.
No, absolutely not.
No, we haven't got there yet.
And then Mira's giving them a bollocking afterwards, Xaden and Dane and Violet, because it's
just
like,
telling
you
them
need
to
get your acts together, guys.
Yeah.
Dane, stop being such a dick. And
but you know what I loved about that? So Mira was like, this can't happen. What happens when you're stationed somewhere? Violet's gonna miss out on her studies, and he said, I'm here.
Yeah. Who's the what? Like, I came here.
Yeah.
I abandoned my wing leader duties.
Yeah.
And made
the
my
journey
second in command,
so that Violet could stay there and learn. He was like, I'm here, and that's when everything goes to shit.
Yeah, and then they're like, attack, and like, get out. And Violet's like, I'm not leaving you, Mira. Xaden, I'm not leaving her. And he's like, yeah, you are. Come on, let's
So
go.
it's the Flyers, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Well, it is. To be fair, they've come for some
doodads,
knives,
doodads.
Some cutlery.
But she is pissed off.
Yeah,
because
he kisses her to distract her,
so that
Ten gets there, and
because she wants to stay in case Mira gets hurt.
Yeah.
So then for the next few days, she's like waiting for the report to come back to Basgaia.
Flipping raging, isn't she? And what hurts my heart is when she's like stood outside Is it Melgren?
Yeah.
Melgren. To find out whether she lived, and then Xaden arrives and Dane arrives. And they're all stood there waiting, and he's like, no, but there were no fatalities or something. And then she hugged Dane.
Well, no, she sort of like nearly collapsed, didn't she? And Dane grabbed her, and then she looks back and Xaden's gone.
That makes me sad. And then she gets enraged with Xaden because she's like, you're all about my safety and stuff, but you're not helping me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh yeah, I realised that.
Yeah, because he's trying to block her out. Yeah. After the kiss, he goes all, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want anything ever. But that's when she speaks mind to mind to him.
Yeah.
And she makes him that is one of the best scenes as well, when they're all in the dining hall together and they're speaking mind to mind. And she was basically insinuating to give him, and he chokes and everyone's just like, what is going on? And the only person who seems to grasp what's going on is Liam.
Yeah.
Oh, Liam.
Funny.
But then it's after that whole thing at Montserrat where they finally shebang.
Yeah, they do. Oh.
And they break her armoire.
Yeah. And then he's like, no. And then she's like, no, because she was like, oh, we can just do it. Or whatever, wasn't she? And then she's like, and then eventually she's like, actually no, because I'm falling for you now.
And he's like, no, if you are getting feelings, which I think is just fucking stupid, because he admits later on down the line that the first moment that they kissed, he knew he was in love. Yeah. And I guess he was trying to, because they are bonded and they've got to work together for life.
And all the secrets he has currently.
So he's now thinking, I don't want to get her involved. I'm in love with her.
Yeah,
I can't sleep with her. If she's going to get feelings for me, it's like he was happy to sleep with her knowing he had feelings and getting hurt.
They don't sleep together yet.
Yes, they do. No. Because it's after they find out Mira.
No, it's not. It's after she kills Jack motherfucking Barlow and we find out about her lightning.
But that's the second squad game.
Yeah, so they kill Jack the flipping Barlow.
Well, she drops a freaking cliff on him.
Yeah. Because
nothing can kill Jack.
She finally gets her signet.
Yes.
Leadening.
Which she's absolutely terrified of.
Yeah.
I would be.
Yeah.
If I find out that if I had a signet, if I was bonded, which I've never had, I'd die. But if I did, and the first thing that I can do with my signet is kill somebody, I'd be exactly the same.
So, because absolutely. Because you think, oh, well, and she says it, doesn't she? Mira can extend wards and protect people. Brennan was a healer.
Well, a mender.
He can fix people. But I've got a weapon.
Yeah. But she needs it because in every other way, she is at a disadvantage.
Yeah. So she kills him, And then she's devastated by it, and he's a dick to her on the flight field, isn't he?
Yeah, because he says you need to use this because
Dane's like, oh, don't worry about Violet. You don't need to use it. Just keep it within you. Or...
I think at that moment though, like you got to think from Dane's point of view. He knows he's telling a lie. I think he's just trying to comfort her in that moment. I know it's the wrong thing. Zadyn comes in and he completely wipes that out, and he goes, "You're telling her lies. She has to use it.
Yeah,
we're
she's
at
got
war."
no choice.
Yeah,
and then he goes and checks on her later on at night.
Good for her.
It's like, look, I told you that out there because I knew you didn't want to look weak in front of everybody. And he makes sure that she's all right.
Yeah, and he really does make sure that she's all right.
Sees to her other needs.
Oh my god, best scene in the book.
No, my favourite scene's the next time they have hanky-panky. After
the parapet.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Aww. I love them.
So then that happens.
We're so glad for that happening. And then the next morning...
He's not there, but he left her violets.
Yeah, so she doesn't wake up alone.
And then there's a knocking at a door, and she thinks, oh, he's back with breakfast or something. And it's Car.
Oh, Professor Carr.
Let's go train that
The
Signet.
first time you've seen Professor Carr is terrifying as well.
Oh, he kills that.
And I can't say the word.
You've got me doing it now.
I can't say it. The word will not form in my mouth.
Basically, the guy that can read minds.
Yes. That one. Intrinsic. But you know what? When he does, he reads Garrick's mind. And it's the first time that you think something might be a bit weird because he goes, oh my god, he's going to find out about and then gets cut off by the shadows, doesn't he?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
So, yeah. Car's like, you need to train the Signet.
And Ten's best line in the whole thing is that...
Oh, because he's like, how did you wield
Think about what you were thinking when you could wield it. He goes,
like,
shall I get the wing leader?
Yes.
God, Ten! Yeah. Fucking love Ten.
Brilliant. So, love that. That's so funny. Oh, God.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. Best thing ever. So there's that. And then...
Come on, Sarah, you're on a roll.
Then she eventually gets... She says, can't sleep with you again. Yeah. But she's getting Zadyn to train her on the mat now.
Yeah, and making it difficult for him.
Trying to make it difficult for him. Like, no, come on.
Yeah.
You want...
So Zadyn's training her on the mat. Imogen is training her weights. And... Rhiannon's training her and then she's also doing flights with Ten to try and but he's not letting her go yet.
No.
So then it's the ball, the party.
Yes.
Where the king comes.
And
it's basically to celebrate the end of the rebellion.
Yeah.
So obviously
the March ones don't want to be there.
But Liam goes. To protect Violet. That is honestly the most heartbreaking thing.
And she's like, look, Liam, you don't need to be here.
She was so mad at Zadyn.
I didn't want him to, and he's like, he didn't make me come. Yeah. I chose to come.
Yeah. Honestly, it's the most heartbreaking thing because he's got to be in front of all of them. Everyone's looking at him because they can see the relic.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, that poor boy.
Devastating. But... She then remembers, like, it's a hard day for her because her brother died on this day.
R.I.P. Brennan.
Hard day for Zadyn because his dad did die.
Yeah.
And she's like, where is he? And she goes to look for him.
Yeah.
And he finds him in the middle of the flipping parapet.
Yeah.
And she's in a skirt.
And she's happy to go out there again in a freaking skirt.
But you
Absolutely
remember...
Not.
Like, she was like, this is a bad idea in a skirt and it's a bit windy. But you remember how much she's saying, oh, after riding the dragon, obviously not Zadyn.
I don't know.
It's a lot easier to walk.
Yeah, well, she's a lot stronger now as well.
Which is great. Anyway, and it's like, we're zooming through because...
We'll be here for hours
if not. So yeah, that happens, and they all go, and then she's like, "Oh, come on, I'll take you back to your room."
Well, she tells
I know
him
you're not in the mood for anything.
Yeah.
I'll take you back to your room.
She tells him
I'll look after you.
She loves him at that point.
She
and
does.
She's like, you don't have to say anything, but I'm giving you my heart. She goes, I don't care.
Yeah.
Let go.
Yeah. So they total back to Zayden's room. She takes his boots off.
And other things.
No, because she doesn't intend on that happening, does she? This is the thing. She was like, you've looked after me.
Yeah.
It's my turn to look after you while you're vulnerable.
Yeah.
Anyways, one thing leads to another.
A few times. All night by the reading of it.
And then there's a banging at the door.
And it's Garrick.
Yeah. And there's an emergency.
Well, they say there's an attack, isn't there?
Yeah.
Basically. So
that's
everyone,
what they've been told.
Everyone gets up, panicking,
He's
and
getting
then
to formation.
it's fucking squad games.
Yeah.
And
war games.
War games.
War games, squad, same thing.
Squad games. So then they're all sent out on their missions, aren't they? But Zayden is told to take a squad of his own choosing
To
Athbin. So he takes basically the majority of the marked ones.
And Violet. But his excuse for taking Violet is, our dragons can't be apart or whatever.
100%. Because Dane doesn't want her to go.
No.
And he says to her, which becomes quite significant, that he would miss her when she goes.
Yeah.
Which we find out in the end actually didn't mean what we thought it meant at the time.
No. He was saying goodbye.
He was saying goodbye because he realised that she was choosing Zayden over him.
Yes. Because she walks out in Zayden's flight jacket.
Yeah.
At that point.
But Rhiannon covers the
But Rhiannon's
thing.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like covering it.
But it's like massive on her, so obviously it's not hers.
Obviously. So funny.
But that's when he realises, because when Zayden goes to bring her, he realises they're in love, or like something's going on there, so he lets her go.
At this point, Zayden isn't like being very hidey about it, is he? He's like starting to be a bit more open about him and Violet. And
well, they sort. I mean, he didn't say he loved her.
No,
but he sort of like
accepted
what's going on between them, and realised he's not fighting it anymore.
Yeah. So him and his squad make their way to Athbin, and they pit stop.
Yeah.
And it's there where he's like massaging her legs and things.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And then the Griffin Riders show up.
Honestly, I don't know about you, but when I first read the book, I nearly threw it across the room.
Yeah.
Because you feel as betrayed as Violet does. Because throughout the whole book, they're saying the Griffin Riders are evil, you know, they're causing these wars, this is what we're fighting against. You know, this is what we destroyed the rebellion because of this. So, and Zayden's convincing you he's not his dad. He's different. He shouldn't be accused of his dad's sins all the way through the book. And you finally go, no, Zayden's fantastic.
And actually, you find out in this moment he has been fraternising with
the
Griffin Flyers.
Yeah.
Griffin Flyers. And the enemy. Enemy, effectively.
Yeah, and he's been giving them weaponry.
Yeah.
And he admits all that to her.
And she's like, what?
And then she looks around and realises every single one there is a marked one, except her.
Yeah. But Ten and Andana knew.
So she also feels betrayed by them.
Andana did know, didn't she?
Yeah, they all knew.
But Ten was like, it's what's a stronger bond than between a dragon and their rider, and it's mated dragons. So obviously he's had that he's known because of his bond with Segale.
It's horrible. That moment is horrible.
Yeah, it makes just.
But then it's the fact that even Liam is there, and you also have connected with Liam,
and you've connected with Liam, and he's betrayed effectively.
And she turns around to him and it's horrible, and she goes, were we even friends?
I know. And like knowing now what's coming in the book, I feel
it's
like she needed to take that back, because that is
it makes you feel sick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So Zayden explains that the venin in all the stories are real.
Yeah.
these dark wielders are real, and the Griffin Riders are fighting against them, and the Navarians have all shunned everybody out, and they've kept safe behind the walls, but anybody who's not in the wards are under attack, basically. Yeah. So actually, you sort of go, believe it when I see it, but...
Well, it won't be long.
It doesn't seem like a bad idea.
No. So they fly along to Athbin.
Yes.
And find a note, and it empty. It completely empty.
Yeah. And this is an outpost which is supposed to have all these dragon riders there. And the note is from
and
Dane Atos' dad. Colonel Atos. Basically saying, you have two choices. You stay here and die trying to fight the Venin, or you go meet your squads back at squad game and we never speak of it. Because he knows that, like, he knows something's going on.
Yeah, and obviously Xaden confided in Violet that he'd been to Athbin.
Yeah.
Because obviously as a third year you do sometimes get posted out. He didn't say why, but obviously we know now that it's not because he got posted out, it was
to take
weapons handovers.
Yeah.
And Dane has clearly found this out.
Yeah, so
which we find out then, don't we?
Yeah.
Xaden is like, did you tell anybody? She's like, no, I never told anybody, I've kept your secrets. And then he's like, has Dane touched you?
Well, he first goes like, oh, has Dane read your memory? She goes, no, I'd know if he did. Yeah.
But then it's like, well, has he touched you?
Like this.
And she's like, he always touches me like that.
Yeah. And then she thinks, she's like, I would know. And he said, no, you wouldn't. Which obviously
is when we start hating Dane.
Because you now think Dane... this is what happened. Dane obviously saw the memory.
Told his dad.
So Colonel Atos has found out that Xaden's been going to Athbin.
Yeah.
He figures out why.
Yeah.
And he goes, right, you've got two choices. You either become these rebellions or you come back and you don't fight for innocent people's lives, which is just against everything that they've ever been taught.
And Liam, with his farsight, well, they were warned that there was an attack coming by the Flyers.
Yeah.
And Liam can see what's happening at this outpost.
Yeah.
And then they've got a decision to make.
So it's four Venin.
Yes.
Against a small town.
Yeah. And however many Wyvern.
And this is, again, another reason why I love Xaden. He turns around to everybody and goes, I will understand if you leave.
Yeah.
It is your choice to stay.
Yeah.
And they all choose to stay.
Yeah. Even Violet. She's like, she can't watch innocent
And he
people.
doesn't try and persuade her to leave either.
No. I love that. So all through it, you've got the relationship with Dane, where Dane's like, you need to go, you need to be safe, you need to do this. Whereas Xaden is like, I understand your decision. I know why you want it. You aren't weak.
No. Like
people think you are. You can fight.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. So they do.
Oh, God.
And what a fight it was.
Oh.
So you find out that there was some runes there that attracted them to that place. Because Garrick's dragon... I can't remember what his name is. It's like a really weirdly pronounced name.
No, I can't pronounce it. I'm not even going to try.
No. Is sensitive to them. So I think somebody must have planted it. Or, like, why?
Yeah, Colonel.
Yeah, Colonel Knobhead. So, four Venin.
Number 4.
Yeah, but they are riding wyverns, which are these made...
They look like dragons, but only have 2 legs.
Yes. And they're grey. And they breathe different coloured fire.
Yeah.
And they're horrible things.
So they need to get everybody out.
Yeah.
And kill them.
Yeah. Which is very hard to do. And you can only do it with these daggers, which they've been providing them.
Yeah, so you can't do it. You have to actually physically stab them.
Yeah, because dragonfire doesn't kill them. But we do find out that Violet's lightning does.
The wyvern, it does, doesn't it?
And the Darkbill does.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
So they go into this battle and it's horrendous, and Soleil unfortunately gets killed because she's on the ground when the venom touches the ground and they drain it of its power.
Yeah.
And they just like disintegrate.
Oh god, that's awful, isn't it?
Which brings on Violet's fear in the next book of not being quick enough.
Yeah.
You have to really outrun them.
Yeah. Yeah. And the battle goes on.
I just don't want you to say it. Oh, it's absolutely
devastating
heartbreaking.
because obviously Liam's dragon is the one that D is the one that is mutilated.
It's horrible.
And killed.
He was fine.
And he was absolutely fine.
But Violet says that, she goes, all this power, and like, he is physically fine.
Yeah.
And it's all for nothing.
Yeah.
She saves him by holding on, like dislocating her shoulders, holding on for dear life.
Yeah. And D sadly doesn't make it.
Well, it's because that freaking wyvern didn't let go of him.
Yeah.
They could not do anything about it, and he had minutes, didn't he? And honestly, it was the fact that they'd had that fight before.
Yeah, I know, it's devastating. Truly devastating. But they have their little heart-to-heart.
Yeah, and he says, it's been my honour.
Oh, God.
She says, thank you for being my shadow. Thank you for being my friend.
She lets Zadyn know so he can get there.
And he's... because they're brothers.
Because she can't get into D and he wants to be with D. And
but
she can't get him there. And Zadyn comes and manages to...
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Honestly, it's absolute... It wrenched my heart out. I was crying for ages. I think this has been one of the most heartbreaking books I've ever read. Genuinely. Liam did not deserve to die. I get why she did it, and I understand that he was too perfect. Yeah. He had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it harder though.
Because he was just
like
perfect.
I get that he didn't have character progression because you can't get any more perfect than perfect. But because he was so perfect, it makes it harder.
Yeah, because you instantly love. There is nothing. I don't understand how anybody could not love him. There is nothing in this book. No, not even like one sentence he says that is not good.
No. Oh, it's so sad.
So then that happens, but they've still got a fight around them.
Yeah. Violet saves the day.
She does, but she gets stabbed.
She gets stabbed by a venin.
Yeah. And it's a poisonous blade.
Yeah. So she gets stabbed, but she still manages, and Dana helps.
Oh, God,
she freezes time and she manages to pull the lightning down and finally, kill him. And then they think Violet's gonna die. Yeah.
And the only thing that they can do to save her is get her to a mender.
And so they obviously take her to this place and she wakes up.
But then it switches to Zadyn's point of view, doesn't it? So it's been, 3 days?
Yeah.
She's been out of it for 3 days.
Yeah.
And you switch to Zadyn's point of view, which I'm glad that they did, because she would have had so many questions that the book would have gone on for another 100 pages.
Yeah.
And she's in this unfamiliar place.
And then she looks out the window, doesn't she? Of the bedroom. And Zadyn's like, where do you think you are?
Yeah.
And obviously from what she's read, she's like, well, it looks like Arisha.
But that was burnt.
But that was burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, we're rebuilding it.
Yeah. And then
she fucking loses her mind.
Well, then there's a knock at the door.
Yeah.
And Zadyn keeps telling them to wait.
Yeah.
And he just barges in, doesn't he? Yeah. At the end.
And it's like the last line is like, it's Brennan or something.
Shall we get it? What's the last line?
What the?
Honestly, I'm not expecting that in the slightest. No. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Not quite the last line then.
You weren't healed, you were mended. Brennan, she stares at her brother in open mouth shock. Brennan just grins and opens his arms. Welcome to the revolution, Violet. What an ending!
What?
This man who you think died fighting against the rebellion.
Yeah.
We thought was killed by Fenryson, which was Xaden's dad.
Which is why his dad ended up dying.
Yeah.
Effectively.
And we thought Noarlin, well, we know Noarlin died to save Brennan's life, who was Tern's last rider. Yeah. It's all linked.
Oh, massively.
To find out Brennan has been alive for the last 6 years, living in Arisha, forming a new rebellion. And then done. That's it. Wow.
Mad. What a journey.
What a book. So much happens.
Too much happens.
Literally so much. And it's hard now because you now think, well, Violet's got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
So many unanswered questions.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
What is going to happen next? Where do you go from here?
Yeah. The trust has been broken between her and Xaden.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that in the next podcast about Iron Flame, because that it grates on
irritating.
me a little bit. But honestly, mind blown.
But out of Rebecca Yarros really does love a cliffhanger.
All of them,
as we know. She just loves a freaking clip.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'm quite glad because when I read Fourth Wing, Iron Flame was already out, so I could just pick it up.
Yeah, me too.
But if I'd have been left on that, I'd have been
fuming. The one we
fuming.
have been left on's made me.
Yeah, that's
raging.
also made you fuming too.
Yeah,
we get it.
But yeah, that is the roller coaster ride that is Fourth Wing.
Coming hell. And the good thing is we know what happens next, so we can't have any theories for this book.
No.
So we won't be sharing them. But do let us know if you have any thoughts or theories behind anything that happened in the first book.
Yeah, and that may carry on into later books that we've missed.
Absolutely. And we're really sorry. We absolutely love this series. Hence why we talk about it for so long.
We waffle.
And we probably went over a lot of things. So do let us know if there's any big points that you feel like we skipped over.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the next podcast.
Iron Flame, obviously. It has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely Iron Flame. So we'll be talking about Iron Flame. So if you have any theories you want us to talk about in Iron Flame.
Yeah, any particular moments.
Yeah, any...
My house, my chair, my woman. We'll be covering that, don't worry.
Don't worry, Sarah will cover everything, Xaden. But yeah, and do join us again.
Yeah.
We absolutely love sitting down and talking and waffling for hours on end about books. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed and we hope you come again.
Thank you.
Bye.